Right now, the Australian art scene, we're at a particular moment in time. What do you think we need to really start to allow the Australian art scene to flourish?
Oh, yeah, because it's huge. Like there's flourishing in terms of bring a whole lot of community trust back in. There's flourishing in terms of investment and what it takes for artists to be able to live and work well. Australia, it's big and it's small. So some things, some developments can have like a really outsized impact on how everything works in the arts. And so although like 99.99 blah 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 percent of artists will never receive a grant or public funding, like ever, and certainly not from Creative Australia, the conversation in the arts this year has been dominated a lot by what happened with Creative Australia deciding to rescind Khaled Sabsabi and Michael Agostino's contracts with Venice Biennale and then reinstating it after an independent review. And the real, I think, shock of all of that, apart from the huge and genuine shock that Khaled and Michael have been experiencing, is for everyone else in the arts thinking, but wait a minute, it's like you were saying earlier, Nick, who stands up to support and champion artists? And we've got an arts minister who does.
Which has
People,
not always been the case.
no, that's
So I
right.
think that's worth calling out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Tony.
Yeah.
It is fantastic to have an arts minister who genuinely wanted the portfolio, had it before, kept it in shadow, has put together an arts policy, which is actually the first arts policy in Australian history to survive into a next term of government.
Is that true?
It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
And we've also in Australia never had an arts policy survive a change in government. So we've got some years of hoping that that will happen. And there is a refresh of Revive that'll happen in the next year or two.
What I take out of that is there is possibly some stability coming in arts policy over the next little while. Is that an agreed statement?
Yeah, I feel like we are in a rare period of stability in policy.
Yeah.
There is unfortunately kind of against that. The instability comes from the relationships, the trust, and so on. A lot of people in the arts, hoping and expecting to see people within Creative Australia and their board and elsewhere really standing up and defending artists, because the issue there wasn't only that Khaled and Michael's contract was rescinded, but that it came after only one critical question.
So reactive.
Yeah, one critical question from a newly appointed senator in relation to one article in The Australian, which, for those who are unaware of that newspaper, it has a very small circulation. It's a very little read paper, and that article was behind a paywall. So the Shadow Arts spokesperson raising it during question time, where, she's obviously exempt from normal laws of defamation and etc. that would apply to any other citizen speaking in the public space, she chose that moment to say things that were not true about Khaled Sabsabi's practice. And unfortunately, a lot of those untruths have kept being repeated. Like I was saying before, art asks questions and demands that we do the same. That's what Khaled's work does.